What up, YouTube? It's Kurt here, and today we're going to talk about the album Breaking the World by Threatin, or Threatin, however you say it. Alright, so if you don't know the story, I can encourage you to read the story. I'm not here to talk about the story, I'm here to talk about the actual music of what came out of this really controversial story. Alright, so I think a lot of people expected, when they actually go to listen to this album, they expect the album to actually really suck. Based on the idea of what they hear from the story, which I won't talk about. I'll just talk about the music. So I think with that expectation, I actually did have that expectation myself, kind of. But when I actually got into the album, it wasn't as terrible or bad as I would think it'd be, or a lot of people would think it'd be. Now, a lot of it, when going through it, a lot of it actually was really recycled metal to a certain degree. There's really no new formula that Jared, I think is his name, Jared is really bringing to the table. But that being said, he still does have a very good voice, and he does have a very good delivery to that voice. And he does have amazing guitar skills. I think his guitar soloing is actually very creative in many parts of the album. So actually, yeah, throughout the album, I don't hear a lot of like songwriting evolution, I would say, from a metal standpoint. A lot of it's been done already, that's of course, so I wouldn't say the album's amazing, but there are still actually surprisingly good parts to it. Now that I've talked about the music, the important part, I'll talk about every other aspect of it. As far as the aspect, I think people don't like the fact that this person seems like he's really full of himself. Just to give you an idea, here's the photo that he used for a single. And it's hard to really know what to do with that photo. It's like, if someone is doing this for a publicity stunt, it's like, there's probably more efficient ways to go about it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, maybe at the end of the day it was really good. I haven't seen an actual interview with him, so I don't know the full scope of what his personality is like. So I think people cringe at things like that, and that's why they don't. They're afraid to look at the artistic side of it. I do think there is, like he points out, that musicians struggle to get heard. And that is very true. You basically have to do something crazy to get noticed by people nowadays, because the music market is getting saturated. There's tons of musicians everywhere, especially if you're doing an old entire genre like stripped down metal. It's hard to make a name for yourself. The only way Ghost has any followers, I love Ghost, I love listening to Ghost, but the only reason they are considered as doing something new is because they're doing a melodic type of satanic music, even though there's been tons of satanic music out there. So, yeah, just with that in mind, I guess we shouldn't necessarily wish for someone's failure, I guess. If you don't want to listen to music, that's more than your right to. But going in another perspective, we see these other terrible figures in media. Like, look at Bad Baby. Bad Baby had millions of listeners for her music. And I don't think she gets nearly the same amount of criticism for being kind of a selfish jerk to her mother particularly, and towards a lot of other people that this Jared person is for doing metal. So if people listen to Bad Baby, why shouldn't they listen to people like Jared or Threatin or his band? That's just my personal take on it, but honestly, out of a 10-point scale, I would give the album a 5. I would give it a 5 out of 10. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. That's just my personal take on the album. If anything, it's a really interesting story. Alright, so thanks guys. Peace.